All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday. This is June 9th, 2025, and it's 10 a.m. Central Time, as usual, to start the Monday off with the Indoor Farmer, episode 188 this time. We're getting close to 200 episodes. It's very exciting, right, Sprout? He's very excited, he says. And we've got a lot to show you today and some things to go over and to talk about, but we're going to get into it after this little intro. If you could help us out, hit that share button, hit that like button, and maybe tell a friend. And we'll be right back, guys, in about 3 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's grow.
In a cozy corner of the city, where the wildfire's shining bright, lives a man named Waylon, with his green thumb at his mic. He's not your typical farmer, no fields, no barn, no plow. His farm's indoors, his harvest shared on the airwaves now. Waylon the indoor farmer, with his podcast every night. He's sowing seeds of knowledge, making our world a little more bright. From Sunday through to Thursday, his voice is on the line, bringing folks together, making learning so divine. On Sunday, games are rolling, at 5:30 they start. The Indoor Farmers Game Night, where laughter plays a part. Monday brings his story, how he learned to farm and grow. The Indoor Farmer shares his journey, making it a show. With every episode, a chapter of his life, teaching us to live more green, reducing all our strife. Waylon the indoor farmer, with his podcast every night. He's sowing seeds of knowledge, making our world a little more bright. From Sunday through to Thursday, his voice is on the line, bringing folks together, making learning so divine. Tuesdays for the reviews of people, places, things. Waylon's got the scoop, from artisans to local wings. Wednesday we grow Wednesday, where the mind expands, discussing food and farming with experts from the lands. He's not just growing plants, but communities as well. Through his microphone he casts a spell. Thursday, people in the boxes, where stories intertwine, with guests from all walks sharing what they've seen. Each podcast is a seed planted in our mind. Waylon's cultivation of culture and of kind. Waylon the indoor farmer, with this podcast every night. He's sowing seeds of knowledge, making our world a little more bright. From Sunday through to Thursday, his voice is on the line, bringing folks together, making learning so divine. So if you're feeling lonely or need a touch of green, tune into Waylon's podcast, where the urban farms the scene. He's not just farming indoors, he's harvesting our thoughts. Waylon the indoor farmer, connecting all the dots. He's not just growing indoors, he's harvesting our thoughts. Waylon the indoor farmer, connecting all the dots. In a cozy corner of the city, where the wildfire's shining bright, lives a man
Named me, Waylon the Indoor Farmer. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm your host for the Indoor Farmer. This is my original show that I started, almost 4 years ago. We're getting close to that mark in a few weeks. And I tell you what, I thought a weekly update, with what I have, what I've grown would be enough. But then I thought, well, let's. I want to show off what other people are growing. So let me know. Comment below or comment in the locals chat right now. You can actually put pictures in the locals chat or send me a DM with what you have growing on. So we want to show off what everybody's growing, no matter how big or small. The first thing you're growing, somebody who's very experienced. Either way, we want to see what you got going on. So today is episode 188, and it's Monday, June 9th, 2025, 10 a.m. Central Time. Let's go, guys. We've got a lot to show you, so I'm gonna get into it here shortly. But I do want to congratulate all the game night winners. I meant to put a little video out. I'm going to try to do that after the show today, to just congratulate everybody, and congrats to our winner Leslie, who won the overall game. And then yeah, we gave out 20 prizes yesterday. So congrats to all the winners. Maybe it was 21. Either way, let me know if you if you need to know how to get in on that, what to do. It's basically just something I created for my subscribers. So if you think that I'm doing anything that might be worth doing, whether that is the conversations about sustainability, don't chew on that. Chew on this, my guy. Sustainability, everybody has to eat, or the fun that we try to have on game night, or the conversations we have on People in the Boxes. Whatever it is that you think is valuable, maybe you want to subscribe. So head over to locals.com. It's free to sign up. It's free to have your own locals profile. But then you can go and join my community for free, which we are live in right now for free. And then you can also subscribe for $2 a month, and that helps me with all the giveaways and all of the trips I take to different events to get footage for my show on Tuesday. So it all is intertwined, intermingling, but it really also does stem off of the food. In this episode here, this show, everything stems off of trying to make it more popular, more fun. That's why I don't do 5 days a week of gardening conversations. You know what I mean? I got to do one good day a week where we talk plants, and we say, let's motivate each other, inspire each other to grow more plants and to try something new, grow something for the first time, even if you think it might die on you. All those things, we do that one day a week. Then the rest of the week, I try to come at it with different angles. You know what I mean? Different various trajectories on creating community, because we need each other to feed the world, to feed each other. We can't really, we couldn't all live on our own by ourselves in the jungle, to survive. Very few people can do that. We talk about it all the time. But let's go, guys. Let me share in some pictures for right now. I don't have a whole lot of pictures, but we're going to talk about it, and I also going to uh, take our little trip, our weekly trip over to Garden Savvy community and see what they have growing on. Let me pull up the Facebook comments, see if anyone's commenting. Oh, look at the love on the Facebook. All the at this and at that and hashtag this and that. It's like none of it means anything on Facebook anymore. I appreciate you though, Timothy and Brenda. Come on over to Rumble where it's at. Let's go. Comment in the Rumble. We are looking at a new parameter for the Rumble Creator Program where they're looking for engaging audiences. So let's show them what the indoor farmer community is all about. Okay, let me pull up this picture here. Let me share the screen, and we're gonna play some tunes here. Since I'm by myself today, I found out that I'm getting an echo all the time if I share the audio in. That's not fun. Timothy, I see you over on the Rumble now. Yes, hell yeah. Let's first pull up our tunes before I. You're not supposed. This part's supposed to be magical, like it just happens, I got to talk my way through it. It's kind of like when I was younger, I'd be like a raid boss on video games. World of Warcraft. Shouts out to the old WoW heads out there. But I would be running a raid with 25 people, all listening to my voice, and they're looking at the characters on the screen. They couldn't see me; they could just hear me, and I would talk our way through it. All right, okay? Now you do this. Okay, now you do that, and it was just when it worked right, it was like a work of art. It was a work of art. Why are these pulled up twice? Okay, here we go. All right, let's share it in. Share in. In fact, the music might be a little loud. Let me see where we're at. It's a little intense, that's for sure. So we're going straight outside today for the first few pictures. I don't know what to do. That's what part of the title is about. Decisions. Like they're not for people who are professional growers and people who have more experience than me would probably say these aren't the greatest plants, but and for a fact there's problems with them already, like the fact that they have no name. Like I don't know what the strain is. Yes, comment below, tell me how janky my fence is. Go ahead and hit me with it. Hit me with your best one, Timothy. Hit me with your best Sanford and Son joke. Let's go. Okay, so we got these, like, they're all just these tall stalks. They're like cannabis stalks. It looks like rows of corn, but they're cannabis. That's crazy. These are all voluntary, guys. Voluntary. I didn't think they just came from the fact that we have a light on my neighbor's garage up here where my mouse is, up above the garage, and it's too close. It's too close. So at nighttime, I've had to try and build like a sail or something up above the plants so that it would block the light. Well, then it's blocking the sunlight and during the morning too, because you can see how they're pointing towards that direction. That's because that's where the sun is coming from. So it's kind of a dilemma. I'm pretty sure they're just all going to be a little hermed again, hermy a little bit. If you don't know about that term in the biz, in the game, hermaphrodite, meaning the plant will have both male and female traits. So the plant will still produce bud, but the buds will have seeds in them. A lot of seeds. It could be many seeds. So it's a problem. It's a problem. Now, first of all, not knowing what it is means that it's not all that, it's not as valuable. But I could turn it into some nice bubble hash. It could be something. It could be something out of it. You could get something out of it. So I hesitate to just toss it, just to mow it down. I could try and dig some of it up and transplant. That's a possibility, but I don't really have another place that has enough sunlight. That's a problem. So if I had somebody locally that wanted them or something like that, that's one thing. But honestly, why? You don't know what it is. Why would somebody want to do that? So it's a thing. We're trying to figure it out, trying to decide what to do. It ain't dirty if you wash it. Okay. Nice. So we got another angle or two here. Got an angle of the fluffy butt. Both fluff butts over there. But yeah, I mean, these plants they look healthy, except they don't bush, and neither did the original plants that I had in pots out here 3 years ago, and then I've grown voluntary plants because of that herm effect from the neighbor's garage. Every year, some new voluntary plants have come up. So it's been like 3 grows, I think, total, and I didn't really get a whole lot out of any of it. I have some right now I can turn into bubble hash. I haven't done it yet, but it's I don't know how valuable it is. I have an issue with my indoor grow for cannabis, at least right now, because I need more light, and I have an electrical issue. I mean, I can run electrical extension cords, but it's not a good long-term plan, So we've talked about it before in the show. So I have that issue inside the house. Yes, that's a kitchen sink right there. I replaced my kitchen sink. And I'm totally gonna grow something out of that kitchen sink in the backyard or somewhere. What I want to do. Here's my plan, you guys. I'll tell you my plan. Write it down, all you guys listen and just wanted to do what I'm doing. I want to put up a fence. That's a privacy fence, and I want to build things off of that fence, such as grow pots and things that are like a trough out off of it. That's why I kept my old gutter system when I got new gutters on my house. I'm like, I could put gutters, I could attach the gutters to the fence and then grow stuff out of it, because it's all about trying to let my dogs have the most of the yard. I don't want to just start taking up all of the space. Now I don't have much space. Now you can see where this fence is, if you want to call it a fence, this barrier. It's actually on the left side of the bush, but my yard is like another 2 or 3 feet to the right. So I actually will have more space once I get a permanent fence put up. I also have to cut down this bush, which I took a couple pictures of here shortly. You're going to see that. But here's my plant that I took outside. It had a little mite issue, and I took it outside. You can see the old leaves, right? But then it started growing green, but the green is really fuzzy, like it's hairy, almost like it's flowering, but it's not in flower now. It's kind of doesn't know what to do, but it's still living. Look at the clustering of leaves. I wonder if I should thin it out a little bit. I don't really want to do anything to it. I'm just letting we've had a lot of rain, and I'm just kind of letting her recover. I might want to add. I've been talking about it for a couple weeks. I haven't done it yet. I'm thinking of adding some fresh topsoil and or like actual nutrients of some kind. I have a bunch of old like different nutrient stuff I've gotten from different places, so kind of need to use it up. So might be a good idea just to kind of see what she does. It's interesting little experiment after having a problem. You just kind of leave it alone outside. It's been raining a lot, so I did water her a couple times manually, but not crazy. Kelly, what's up? Kelly, come over to Rumble. Oh yeah, I didn't get that on your phone. We need to get that on your phone sometime. All right. Well, you see, looks like cannabis all around. It's kind of fun, but it's just not. It's not like it's not really that practical, you know. That's funny, Timothy. FU, FB. I'm not gonna say it. We're live on Facebook. I don't want to hurt the Facebook gods. All 3 people watching us live on Facebook. I don't want to upset you guys. Come over to Rumble. All right, so look at this. It does look like it's flowering, or at least it started to go into flower on its own without a change in light cycle. It's not an auto plant. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. I'm gonna let it go. I mean, it still has a long way to go this season. It may end up becoming something interesting, to say the least, if not something usable. Something usable would be the ideal, but it could be some fun content anyway, just to kind of watch it grow, see what happens. Because the leaves are pretty green, like it's definitely still living, it's still alive. You see some old leaves that are not looking so good. Some nutrients will probably do it some good, I think. So this is where the fence meets this bush, and then the bush basically holds up the fence all the way down. But that bush is a couple feet wide, and it's in my neighbor's yard. So what I need to do is I'm going to have to go over there with a chainsaw and just like chop it down at the bottom. I got to see if my chainsaw is still lubed up, Got to be careful with those electrical chainsaws too. Like they test them out and stuff like that. So, all right. So I got to chop this whole bush up. The bush is going insane with growth. Every year it does this. I chopped it down last year, but I didn't use a chainsaw all the way at the bottom. I kind of I think I had like loppers and like another cutting thing. It wasn't electronic. So I want to really go low this year. It'd be cool if I could somehow kill it, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I could grow something over it that takes over, I don't want to do so. I mean, I have to be careful about that. Shoot, like some mint maybe, or like clover, so something that will just cover over it. Might be with a way to slow it down at least. I don't know. Yeah, you chop this whole thing out would be wonderful. It ain't dirty if you wash it. Just keep looking at that comment, Timothy. All right, guys, we've got a little back shot of the old party pail of ice cream from years ago, sitting with like soaking with these grow cubes in the fish water. But anyway, all the peppers, a lot of peppers on the back side where the light is. It's hard to see from the other angle when I usually take the front picture. There's a pretty big one. I don't know if this is actually it that I'm looking at, but there's a really big one back over this way, like much bigger than the other ones. Couldn't get a picture of it though. That pineapple, it doesn't look so good, guys. The pineapple doesn't look so good. What do you think of the pineapple? It's kind of pale, a little pale looking. So right now, the only two things that are absorbing nutrients out of the aquaponic system is the pineapple and the pepper plants, which there are 3 of them. 3 pepper plants. I do want to transplant or get new pepper plants growing in the grow bed and the table across the room there. I every time I eat one of these peppers, I take the seeds out and I put them in that table, but I don't know if they're doing anything. Maybe I need to start germinating seeds like separately and trying to make sure that I have a nice little rooted sprout like this little guy, sprout. Would you guys eat those peppers? Would you eat these peppers? They were just growing out of fish water. Straight out. No, not many things I added. I've added some mineralization to it. We've got, pH balanced water now. It's looking good. Comment below if you like peppers and what you would grow, what you'd eat with them, what you would do with them. I put them in a lot of different things, omelets or soups or anything like that. It's good stuff. Got my onions still growing, and there's still plenty of onions that don't have seeds on the top, so I just chop those out when I want to eat, because I'm hoping some of these seeds will grow more onions. I don't know yet. They seem like they're almost dying, but you would think that wouldn't matter with the seeds. They should just dry up and then I'll have seeds. It looks like a dandelion, Almost feel like I could blow the seeds off of the onion somehow. Twisted, what's up? Use your pond water with all our indoor and loves it. Okay. Do you do anything to ensure there's nothing like parasitical or anything that's from outside to inside? Donnie, what's up? Twisted, come over to Rumble. Rumble's where it's at, man. Rumble's where it's at. Anyway, the onions are interesting. I'm hoping this is my first time getting them to seed, and these are store-bought onions. I bought them, from the grocery store, and instead of eating them, I planted them, and there you go. Planted the bulbs, and these are my old microgreens from the last grow that I had. I'm not even sure which one's which. I think arugula. Forgot what that one was, but I know I have a bull's blood beets over here somewhere that you can't see. Bull's blood beets. There's my praying mantis container that never worked out for me. I think I did it wrong, possibly. So what I did was I opened the lid and I dumped the egg sacs out underneath that cardboard, kind of in a dark space. But that may have opened them up to predators. So I probably should have left it in, because I didn't read the container. It says hatching. What did it say? It was like enclosure or something. Hatching enclosure or something like that. I can't think of the other word. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to leave the lid on until they start to hatch. But the lid had air holes, so you think pests could maybe get in that lid, but not if I had it. Not if I just didn't have it right there in the garden. Could have had it on my desk or my table or something. Anyway, I think that's what happened. Today, after the pictures here, I'm going to go over. We're going to do a little live work in the garden. I'm going to raise up this broccoli that is just covering up the onions, trying to take away all the sun. And it also covered up this poor radish that I had harvested the radish, but then replanted the greens, and I thought it was going to take, but I didn't water it enough. The soil is moist, but I needed to water the actual plant above the soil more, because when you do a clone or when you try to do a reroot or anything like that, the plant will try and take up some moisture from the leaves, from the green above the soil. Anyway, I just thought I would try to get it to continue growing and produce these seeds, but it's not that big a deal. Not a big deal at all. Yeah, the broccoli, this is all voluntary broccoli. Like, I'm going to have broccoli forever. Every time I bury some of these broccoli, like, stalks and leaves and everything, I get more broccoli. So, I mean, I can't complain. Broccoli is good for you. I like broccoli. It's a microgreen also. Only on the outdoors. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. I didn't read it. I thought it said indoor for some reason. Hey, good morning, Margaret. Good morning. Oh. All right, so last week off camera, I took my basil tree that had been growing for like 2 years. I'd have to go back to make sure, but I think this same basil tree has been growing for 2 years in this pot. It was like several branches coming out, but this was the last one to survive, and it died off as I tried to replant it or transplant it over here in the table. And then you also see my little scraps corner is getting full, so I have to basically what I do is I try to roll it up under the soil while keeping it all covered up. Now, right now, it's kind of letting it get dried out a little bit, and that's fine. Keeping some air around it. But once you bury it under the soil, it's good to go for the worms and the arthropods. I may need to get more soil. I'm not sure. It's kind of getting full in here, though, so I may have to just sort of pile up all the soil, push it towards the middle, and then roll it under, and then push it, and then, cover it back up. But the worms are in there. I actually, sometimes when I dig in the middle, that's where I find them. I feel like the water or the moisture seems to collect up in the middle, even though I have one end of the table is supposed to be up a little higher, but it might have been a little bit uneven on the ground in the first place. So I might have to raise it up just a little bit more on the other end, because I want it to have a ever so slightly natural like an incline or decline over to this corner, where I typically will have access to the bottom, and then that way I can see if there's too much water in the table. Plus, it would have a place to drain, so there'd be sort of a natural draining towards this end, and there won't ever be enough water in the table for it to be like a pool down here, because the soil and the cocoa coir will like absorb a lot of it. It's absorbent, like a big sponge, the whole table. So you still want it to have a place for the water to be able to go. So instead of having a drain, I'm going to try this. So far, it's working. I don't know if there's any long-term implications to having no drain, but we're going to find out. We'll find out. Clay pebbles from the basil. I'll just mix it into the table. I mix in the scraps and any sort of organic waste that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't put my lint from the dryer in this table, but I'm going to bury that lint outside where my yard meets the gully. I've talked about it before. It's kind of like a dip that's kind of losing my land right there. It's kind of where it washes away. So I've been doing different things, burying cardboard and anything outside scraps and any kind of organic material outside that I can. Every time I mow, I have a bagger, so I will pile my grass clippings up back there, and it's nice. It's nice to have a place to just to offload all that stuff. A lot of people have to have a burn pit, and hey, who doesn't like to have a fire once in a while? I know, but it's not always a thing that you want to have to take time to do, because you have to watch it. You have to be there all day. So I'm kind of, there's ups and downs to that, I guess. All right, so back to me for now. Spiking. You don't want only root rot. Wait, you don't want only or any root rot or have a pH ppm spiking on you. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Drainage is important, right? So that's why I think I need to raise up that end of the table. But also, let's go over there while he's sleeping for sure, and let me walk with me, and we'll go check it out. Let's take this off to get it out of my way. So yeah, I need to raise up this end of the table, but I also need to get grow lights up on the ceiling here, which has been proving to be very difficult. I think what I need to do is clean up the area, get all this stuff kind of either organized or out of the room. I need to, just organize this room a lot more, which I can do off camera, and get this whole rack out of here, this whole shelving unit out of here. I need to start working on my new aquaponics system, which is going to go right over here, actually. Can't wait. Although, I have the heater now. Originally, I put it up here against this wall because this wall is not an external wall. It's a wall that leads just into the basement still. So it's not going to be as cold as it would be on this wall back here. But this wall back here, it won't matter now that I have a heater. So definitely have a drainage problem in this basement too. So I need to save up some money. Go subscribe at theindoorfarmer.locals.com. I'm gonna have to save up like 10 grand to try and get a basement dewatering system. So while we're talking, I'm gonna go ahead and crank on this RO system, which you might not be able to see it, but you can see that I have a 6-gallon pressurized tank that helps you get a lot more water out faster, at least temporarily until the 6 gallons is up. But we're going to turn on this other pump that I have that is set up for feeding this table. And what I do is I move it around the table a little bit. And that's the other thing, though, Twisted, is like there'll be dry areas of the table, so the water will get sort of absorbed or wicked away from the areas that I put it. At least that's what I hope. And as long as I don't just flood the entire table, there's always going to be a dry spot. Not to make it funny, but it's kind of funny. Always going to be a dry spot, Now, I do need to order more praying mantis. I'd like to get more praying mantis for the table. So I guess I could take this out. Yes. It's been so... You were such a good basil plant for so long. So if I want to play with that stuff, we're going to put on some gloves. If anybody wants to come up and help me out with the comments, maybe help me read and tell me what people are saying as we're hanging out here, that would be cool. Well, that's radish for sure. Radishes are already radishing. I see. So that was radish. That's probably arugula. And we got bull's blood beets over here. I probably need to water this little little guy a little bit more. We are going to do the, you know what? Did I make the number post? Yeah, I did. I'm going to do the number spin a little later for my subscribers. So if you haven't gotten yourself a number, make sure you go do that. And also, we'll get you all in on the door prize. Anybody that might be here towards the end of the show will get a chance to win. Here, we'll do this. In fact, let me go see if there's anyone that's willing to play with the comments for me. Come with me this way. Thank you, camera. A little choppy, huh? A little choppy. Yes, it does play with the screen off. Yep. Hell yeah. Humidity you don't want. Oh, I see what you did there. All right, I'm gonna post the link over in Rumble. Anyone's interested, come up for a minute. Twisted, you can get a sump pump and hose in the washer drainage pipe. Yeah, I could do that, but mine, they're gonna have to dig up underneath my foundation and stuff like that. It's an issue with the basement here. It's kind of a bigger issue. JB, what's up? Yeah, no, I just mean like, reading anybody's questions or comments as I'm working in the table there. I'm not going to be over there that long, but I had a few things I wanted to do with you guys. I'm going to raise up this broccoli with some yo-yos attached to the hooks that the lights are hanging from. And be careful because this light over here is actually pretty heavy. So I'm going to make sure that it's not going to be too much weight on it. I don't want it to be too much weight. Here, I'm going to turn my phone this way so that way I can check it. All the broccoli is just going crazy. Need another yo-yo. Oh, there's one. Got a yo-yo. Jeez. It's heavy too. You wouldn't think that about broccoli until you see what it looks like. Because you go to the store and it's these nice little, what do you call the broccoli, tiny broccoli heads? There's a word for it. Oh. Okay. Wow. This radish back here is going insane. What the heck? That's not a radish. That is broccoli pods. I think the broccoli has mated with the radish. What is that? Holy cow. It's some of this stuff is growing like mutated. Kind of interesting though. There's a whole bunch of hot seed pods for radishes. I don't see any seeds in this one. Let's see. Oh. Are you ready for your close-up? Like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to have latex gloves, not gardening gloves on? I don't know. Doctor, why do you have gardening gloves on? Because we're going in deep today. We're going in deep. Well, there's a lot of buried material already in here, so we just need the worms to do their job. Well, we got a little bit of an area over here. It looks like I have some room to move stuff. This is getting tougher. I may have to start a new area until they've got it under control. Let me go look over here, actually. This was the first corner I was using for compost. It's actually looking pretty good. It's mostly down to like sticks and stuff like that. Just pieces of wood. The harder materials. Let's just do that. Okay, so you know what? That's what we can do. I can take this material to cover it up over here. What we're going to do, break this basil in a bunch of pieces. It's like wood now, basically, burying wood in here, looking for the worms to eat it in under a decade. Okay. Oh, there's already arthropods over here. Roly polies. Oh, yeah. Yep, we need to work on some kind of drainage system right about here, I think. Okay, just gotta work it in there. I may have to take my compost outside for a little while. Or I was thinking about getting more worms, just because, I kind of want to just see them everywhere, Worms everywhere. Alright, that'll be fine for now. The problem is this corner kind of needs the weight to hold it down. This table's almost getting a little too overwhelmed at this end. May have to think of some other way to, jack it up with something with a flat plate. Might be a better way to do it. Guess that's going on at both ends, huh? Well, that could be a good place for a drain then. Right through that solid plastic, through this little space here that the sheet metal has bent and folded into, and then there'd be a natural place for the water. Maybe right in the center of the table. If I'm going to put a drain in it, I don't need to put a decline. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I should still have a decline so that way The water is still going to be collected up in one end. Problem is that's not actually going to keep it collected up at one end because of the bending of the sheet metal underneath. So, conundrum there. I need to look at the way it's bending, find out where the low end is, put a drain there. This has really been an experiment too. It's not like this is my professional way to grow, product. It's been interesting, to say the least. I think I would do some things differently if I rebuilt it, of course. It would be interesting if I could somehow combine the two. Well, I sort of am right now. Like right now, they're combined. The water's being pumped out of one to this one. If I could get it to where the water is coming out of this back into the aquaponic system, wouldn't be a very fast flow, of course, but it would be one way to do it. And I could turn it on and off, of course. Okay. I think that's probably good for the pump. All right. I hope we still have some awesome friends in the house. Let's get the numbers going. If you could, Cam, what do I pay you for? I have to look at you the whole way, right? All right. Okay. Whoops. And guys, after this, I'm going to try to work everything in today. I have to do a little live stream where I can shout out all the winners for game night, and then we got to get all the winners taken care of. I got to do all the messages and stuff. So we're going to do that a little bit later, but I also want to get some mail out today. I see Brenda in the house. Brenda, I have your Wacket, and I also have your other envelope with, I think you had another win in here too. And then we also have Ronaldo. Ronaldo, congrats on winning that swag pack I gave away last week. And then we have all these lovely folks here getting some seed packs from various places. So we will be doing that hopefully most of it today. Let's go. All right, you need a table tub. A table tub. I'm not sure what that is, Twisted. Like a pool. Let me read some of these comments here. Let's see. Oh, snap. Timothy, I'm going to just see what else. Diane, you can get a portable sump pump. Won't have to dig up a floor. Yeah, but I'm not getting water in my house like that. It's coming through the blocks in a couple spots in the basement, so the blocks themselves are becoming, not good. And I don't think the sump pump's going to do that. I mean, there is a drain right there in my basement, but it's not. They're going to have to dig up underneath of the walls to get it fixed. I had someone come and check it out. Oh, you got your beans in the mail. Okay. Yeah, I sent those before I went to get the Wacket, but I have it right here. Just pull it up. Ta-da! See, I may be slow, but I get things done eventually. With this thing. You got tired, huh? It's too big for you. It's too much work for him. It's like, man, my mouth hurts after a while. That's good. Maybe he can stay away from my shoes for a change. All right, guys, let's get some numbers going on from the locals. Yeah, I don't know if anyone commented yet about the peppers. Tell me what you would do with peppers and tell me if you would eat peppers from my aquaponics system, just from fish. What? Hello, log in, please. All right, we need to see who's got some numbers here. Let's go. Okay, we got Kim Marston as the number one this week. Number one, Kim. Congrats. Nobody popping in at number two. Number two. If you're watching on Rumble, just hit that join button down below and it sends you directly over to my locals community. Harry Wood, number three. Margaret Jett. MJ's Baked Goods. Go check her out. Number four. Jess Rosebud. Stronghold Pretzel Bud. Number five. Brenda V. Number six. Diane. Number seven. Kayla. Number eight. Number eight. And I will even refresh one time for those of you who were like, oh crap, I gotta get over there. Nobody. Okay. It's fine with me. Wait, why didn't I swear I put number 8 down for Kayla. There we go. Alright. There's yesterday's door prize wheel. Okay. Chris, what's up, my guy? Come on in. The water's fine. I will check to see if anyone sent me any pictures, what's going on. Pull that stuff up too. Alright guys, this is the first wheel spin for the week for the Indoor Farmer community. Of course, stick around for the door prize a little bit later in the show. We'll get anybody that's engaging with the post, hit the like button, share it out if you can. Comment below, say hi. You get additional chances to win from Rumble, X, and Locals today. So go to all 4 locations, Facebook, Rumble, X, Locals. We're on a few other locations as well. Shouts out to everywhere else. Not sure. I think I switched it back to a minute yesterday. Let's get this week started, guys. Let's go. I've got a good review for you tomorrow from the Clonapalooza yesterday at Grow Up. And we've got a lot of stuff happening in the world. We're going to look at check in on the wildfires and whatnot on Wednesday, see what's going on with that. I heard there were quite a few of them that were man-made, man-started. So not a good idea, not a good look. All right, number 7 or is it going to get to 8? I think it's going to get to 8. Yep. Kayla, last but not least, is the one that wins the wheel this week. Okay. Well, congrats, Kayla. Kayla, you've got 17 now. 17 Indoor Farmer coupons. Let me write it down. 188. Oh, today's 6/9. Giggity goo. All right. Number 7, today's win, is Miss Kayla. Congratulations. I already wrote it down, so I can mark it off. There we go. There we go. Remove this. Back to me. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hell yeah, you deserve it. You are uh, one of my most one of my most wonderful supporters, bestest, mostest supporters. All right, I'm on Facebook now. Let me see if anyone sent me anything directly. Is this Grower's House? Sent me a link. Twisted Shop. Oh, sent me some links here. What is this? Maybe some flood table thingy. Okay, yeah. Oh, right. Yep. I've thought about doing that. Have a flood table, put everything in. Yeah, I think maybe I wasn't coming across right when I brought up the flooding issue. It's a actually an issue with the house itself, not with my grow table. But this is a one way to grow things inside and have like a nice area to work with and not worry about too much flooding. I like that. I could do that, instead of what I'm doing now. It's really just an experiment, trying to see if I can recreate a piece of like a raised bed, but indoors. And you can, there's different various ways, but the drainage is something that's usually done. I just, for some reason, thought we could get away without it for a little bit. It's working, things are growing, I've eaten things out of it. That doesn't mean it's not going to be a long-term problem. I also let it dry out pretty good. I let this table, I only water it like once a week on Mondays. So typically that's that's okay. I don't know if it's going to be perfect, but oh hey, okay, we got someone sending me in some pictures here. There we go. In fact, you know what, I'm going to download them so that I can zoom them in a little bit, because there's some that are long ways. Oh hey, I didn't notice that. Thanks for the RSO dosage chart. Oh yeah, I want to show people that. Very cool. See that. And oh, got some in flower right now. All right. Pull that up. Very cool. Thanks, JB. I'll pull it up in a second. Just want to double check, see if anybody's posted any pics in the. Okay. I'll go through these here. These are in the group chat from Michael Gray, I believe. A little easier this way. These are some nice big fan leaves. Oh. It's got his grow area in there. Everything all look at the electronics on the wall. Everything's nice and tight. Can't see the banner that well though. Let's see. Something fudded genetics, added genetics. Lots of buckets. Have a whole bucket line there. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like you must once a week like pull them all out, get to each one of them, because I feel like they'll be too claustrophobic. I want open space that I can walk around inside of it and kind of get to each plant. But you got to do what you got to do to get your volume, I guess. Looking good though. Looking like they're pre-flower or about to flower. Nice. It's a lot of 5-gallon buckets, man. All right, let's pull up those other pictures because this way I can look at that pond nicely. find them in Marketplace and Craigslist for cheap. Oh, that's a good idea. I could use those to like grow out of with my aquaponics system even. Good morning, Margaret. All right, so we got this is a kind of going backwards here, but that's okay. Got some in flower, very nice. Twisty sending me some week 4 strip down. Okay, hell yeah. Some beautiful nug. And this pond is going to be really cool. Look at that. Look at that. This is awesome. Some koi in there probably. You got some lilies, water lily. Look at that. Look at that flower right there. That's pretty cool. Little tiki head, or no, we call it like a totem pole head. Interesting. I want me a pond like this. Hell yeah. I want something like this to help get the water out of my backyard faster. Like put the pond partly down my gully, you know, and kind of build it up off of the hill, and have it lower than my yard, and make it like a place where the water drains to. It's really cool though. Okay, now we're back to the cannabis. Definitely in flower, early flower. Those might have been the same plants that we saw the nugs earlier, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a time lapse thing or if these are different plants. But there's quite a bit of awesome tops. Got those colas going on. You'll build me one? Oh, wow. You did a drainage system first too? Yes, that's the way to go. You love ponds, Twisted? Yeah, I dug one for my mom when I was a kid. We dug it in between 2 pine trees, which was bad because pine trees have a lot of roots, and there's a lot of clay to be dug up in that area, so it ended up being a lot of work. I think I did that when I had a broken back too. I had a back brace on still. It was almost towards the end of it, of course, but got the scrog out. Okay, scrogging it. I see, scrogging it. I'm not a fan. I did the scrog once. It was a plant that got out of control, and it was just hard to deal with the scrog net everywhere. Also, I don't know if I used a legitimate scrog net like this one, this stretchy one that you have. I think it was just kind of a netting. Like they were big enough holes, but they weren't as big as these. So yeah, I think there's different ways to do it. I probably will try it again at some point, but this is looking pretty good. Got a lot of good green. I don't see any issues. You couldn't say that about almost anything that I have growing. Nice. Look at that soil. Looks nice. Looks freshly coated with nice topsoil. I think that was the last one there. Yeah. Oh, this is the next picture. Well, hello everybody. It's me. Okay. Now I did get some other messages. Let's see what those were. Okay, Chris. All right, I see you, Chris. Got some fat ass fan leaves over there. Damn. Definitely indica. Needs to look a little more sativa over here. Oh no, that's not the right picture. Oh, we got the tomatoes. Tomatoes going on. Tomatoes. Are you going to transplant those, Chris? Tomatoes need to go out. Yep. Just storming out. Okay. Yeah, you want to make sure they get a little bit of light weather to get them like nice and strong outside before they have a huge storm. JB says I had some heat stress. Got it fixed. Three different batches to stagger trim. Wow, stagger trim. And Chris, you sent me a few other pictures too. I think I showed these ones already. Yeah, looking good, man. Looking good. Not only is he growing his medicine, but he's also trying to grow a little bit of food, a little bit of chunky maters. Missed, feeling ignored here. JB, I haven't been looking at a lot of comments. Yeah, my bad. There's a lot. There's quite a few more commenters today than typical, but I also kind of have get lost in the work here. So I do appreciate everybody's commenting, and if you have a question or something, make sure you try it again, and I'll probably see it now. I'm more able to see it. Our pond, okay. Oh snap. Twisted sent me some goodies here. Week 4 strip down. So you do like a pre pre-trim, I guess, or a strip down is what he calls it. Interesting. They look like little Charlie Brown trees now. Can download that one too to zoom in a little bit. They look frosty as hell though, that's for sure. Here we go, a little video of Twisted's pond. I don't know if there's any music, so I don't want to unmute it. But yeah, dirty heads. Okay. That's a badass looking pond with a waterfall. The waterfall probably keeps it nice and oxygenated. Got some koi, some nice big koi. They like to hide under the leaves. Yeah, I leave my leaves alone now, man. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but leave the leaves. The leaves, you know, I mow over them. You know, they'll get chopped up from that, but there's a lot of benefits to leaves. Like they're doing something for a lot of different organisms. They're helping out. They also, you know, go back into the ground as nutrients. So good stuff. Yeah, this is really nice, man. You could go swim in this pond almost. It's like you got a moat next to your house. That is crazy. I'd like to see the design of that when you first were putting it in. So I wonder, do you put the liner all the way up to the house, and then that way any rain at all that's in that area will just go straight into the pond? Yeah, I want a pond too now, Chris. I want a pond now. Okay, I think that was the last pictures that anyone sent me. Now we need to go over to, let's check in on the Garden Savvy. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. Oh, not that. That is the planner / Hortisketch. All right. Garden Savvy Community. It's a community for gardeners, for growers, for people that are trying to learn and help each other. How can I preserve my onion? So there's a guy asking questions. Can't wait to harvest. Oh, these are nice little grow beds, grow boxes. Let's give it a like. Hi, community. I'm looking for the name of this kind of flowers. Seems like just wildflowers, right? Do you have any idea? Which one's in the photo? Which? Okay, what's with all the typos? He says this kind of flowers, and she says which with WITCH. Which flowers? What are these? Those are clover that's coming up out of your soil. Morning glory. Okay. Yeah, it's just from the soil. Bought soil. One person reacted to my picture I posted last week. Let's see. Peppers are a great size. Keep it up. Are they able to see my peppers from here? That looks so small. Excellent setup. Awesome. Very cool. I appreciate the reactions here. Can you reply? Can't reply. Okay. Need to add a reply button. So if I click it, did they zoom in? Okay, I guess you could zoom in. I can't really see any like I can see one pepper from this picture. It's funny. It's funny. Okay, well, let's post a closer up picture of the peppers because we had a couple people mention talk about that picture or engage with it. So we can post this picture. Oh man, I forgot. I have to convert it in order to use it for this, which is really annoying. Let's go over here to our cover photo and just create a new presentation, I guess. So it's a lot of work for all this just to post one picture. But I like what they're doing. I like what Garden Savvy is working on. I like the idea of community around growing and people that are out there trying to make it happen, trying to figure it out. Okay, let's share, download it as the highest quality of a JPEG. You get basil or you get bass in there. I'd love to have some bass in an indoor aquaponics system. Or you're talking about his pond. His pond is big enough for bass, I would say, or almost anything. I'd get some bluegill in there for sure because bluegill will get pretty big in captivity. I thought I would post a closer pic of the aquaponic grown peppers. Thanks for the feedback. There we go. Post. See, that's how we help grow the community. It may not be like a Facebook or an X or anything like that, but you can build groups inside of here. You can, add friends and become friends with other gardeners and ask them questions. And it just goes on and on and on. And look at this guy, America's Favorite Seeds. I don't know what this is. Shop all seeds today. What is that? Look at people going to gardening fests. I went to 2 farmers markets over the weekend. I didn't take a lot of pictures. We're going to be going back next week to do a full review on farmers markets, I think. Although next week there is a big event over in Michigan. I don't know that I'm going to get to it, honestly. All right, let's look over at Rumble. We have actually, one moment, please. Let's hit this while we hit our number. We hit 33 people, guys. That is awesome, amazing. I hardly ever get that far and get this read, which is like it or don't like it. It's an ad about Truth Social. Have you checked out Truth Social? Let's see what they say. Okay. If you're looking for a great place online for news, discussion, and entertainment, then check out Truth Social, Donald Trump's social media website. You'll get breaking news, stories, and commentary from top media figures. If you want to see Trump's legendary Truth Social posts, which we'll say that in a minute, then get on Truth Social today, joining a growing community of patriots on a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social. Interesting. Very interesting. I thought it would be a longer read. I didn't know what they would have to say. Very interesting, though. They just kind of kept it short and sweet. I don't know. What do you all think about it? You can comment below. Truth Social may or may not be a big site or may never get big, but it's good to have that competition. I think it's good to have multiple sites. You hear me talk about it all the time. The best way to survive on the internet is to make sure that you're in multiple locations, because it's kind of like how Elon Musk says, to survive as a human race, we kind of need to be on multiple planets. Well, I understand the math behind that. Yes, there's a much higher chance that we'll survive if we are on multiple planets. That's great. Well, that same thing works on the internet. So why not try it out? I don't know. Give it a shot. Check it out. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Thank you for that. We hit the number twice, but the first time I wasn't quick enough, because you're always going to lose a couple people in the ad. All right, let's pull up this wheel to get people on it for the door prize. Anyone who's still hanging out will get a chance to win. All right, let's go backwards. We see Chris, we see JB, Leslie, what's up, my guy? Oh, by the way, I think I'm going to head over to locals a little bit after this, just for a short sesh. Okay, Twisted. I saw MJ, Kayla. I really appreciate all that engagement on Rumble, guys. I really do, because the creator program is changing. Oh, hey, Cullen, what's up? Are those lunchbox pepper? No, they're supposed to be like rainbow peppers. Sorry, guys, I missed the Facebook comments for a minute here. House lived where and when I was a kid, had that problem of leaking through the bricks. Guys came in and drilled holes in all the way through the outside wall, then punched in the inside. Yeah, they told me a little bit about different ways of doing it. Stopped the leaking inside, painted the wall with sealer. Yeah, the sealer is like a quick fix that people tell me to use. Sticks may be slow to compost, but they serve as a home for your microbes and bacteria. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's good, or that's not a good idea, but that's a good knowledge about what they're going to help with. I think they also will help absorb moisture and stuff like that of your indoor growing. Hey, thanks, James. I do appreciate that, man. What's up, Ty? See a few people in here. If you're still hanging out, you're going to get on this wheel here in a moment. Portable pumpkin setup. Yeah. The pumps. I need more pumps anyway. Colin, I want to get some more of those mini tomatoes. I'm surprised mine didn't grow more. I buried them thinking they would grow more, but all right, back to Rumble. Make sure I get everybody on here. So we got Brenda from the locals, Timothy, on the Rumble. Let's go. Brenda on Rumble. Got Twisted. MJ, got you. Got you. Got you. Let's see, Diane on the locals. I got Kayla already. Yep. MJ on locals. Let's go. It's been a hell of a week so far, guys. I do really appreciate all the help. I think that's everybody. Comment on the Rumble if you're there, and I'm going to go to X real quick. I like giving you an extra shot at winning if you go over to X. Poor Chris, still spam on X. Still shows up as spam. Poor guy. Poor guy. Okay, cool. That should be everybody except the Facebookers. So if you haven't yet, hit that like button on the Facebook. I do appreciate it. I hate to sit there and harp on it, but that's what this wheel's for. So we're trying to remind yous. Trying to remind yous. All right. I have a lot going on, and it seems like every week it becomes more. So I hope you guys also have a full plate, but also I hope that you can, prioritize. I have a problem with prioritizing. That's my issue. Figure out what I should do next. Okay. Got 8 people on the Facebook, only 11 likes. Interesting. Oh no, that's 15. It lies to me when I look at the numbers. Okay. Let's go. Good luck, everybody, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the Indoor Farmer Reviews. I'm going to be checking out this weekend. I went to the Kelowna-Palooza at Grow Up Gardening in Pekin, and I may throw in a couple other things in there just because I took plenty of pictures. I could just keep it a somewhat shorter review, not a big deal. And then the week after that, we're going to be getting some farmers markets, checking them out. I've been to 3 now so far this year. It's kind of difficult to decide what to buy at them, though. There's so much good stuff. It's kind of like going grocery shopping almost. You want to maybe make a list of things. Oh, I need that. Oh, I can get that at the farmers market. So make it a separate list. Create a separate thing going on. Hey, Leslie. Just commented 2 minutes ago. I can count that. Leslie, now you have 2 coupons. Shouts out to the Frog Hopper sponsor on game night and this week's current new champion, new game night reigning champion. Congrats, Leslie. All right. I got you. Let me write you down here. Door Leslie. It's fun, I have a creative sort of streak, and I like to do the games, and I like to make it different. I like to change it up, but it means a lot to me for you guys to engage and to be part of it. Even those of you that say, like Leslie, he's not usually looking for a giveaway or anything, but for you to participate, it helps me out. It makes me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile. And you know what? You can always give away your prizes. You can give away any of the stuff that you win from me if that's not what you're in here for. But you can make someone else happy. Give it to someone that you know, that you love, maybe someone that you're trying to get to join us, something like that. Um, no matter which way you go, it's just that it shows people outside the community that there is an active group in here that are having fun, and that there's a reason to join. And the prizes isn't why you should join, but it is a perk, and it is a something that's fun. I like to be generous. I like to give things out. I've explained it before, but it's also a way for me to feel like there's a value I can add. You guys may feel that my show is valuable, and I think it is, but it's not. I'm no expert. You're not going to come and search me for to find out the exact measurements on something, or the growth cycle of something, on how it's supposed to be. But I can go on and on about what I think my value is, but providing a real tangible value through game night and through these spins and these door prizes, that makes me feel more at ease, I guess. It makes me feel like it's I don't have to feel so insecure about, hey, was this episode informative enough, or that kind of thing. And so it kind of helps balance me out a little bit. But again, back to what I get out of it. I get to make cool games, and you guys get to play them, and then and you get to like test them out for me, and we find out, oh, heck, that didn't work too well. We're gonna have to try that differently next week. And speaking of, if you're in my private group channel, I have a group on Facebook. Join it. Maccabees Live Market, presented by Waylon the Indoor Farmer. If you join that group, you automatically get access to the channel, which is a private messenger group on Facebook Messenger. And you can get in there. You can throw out ideas. You can help out with the tagging and sharing and stuff like that. It's a good little group where I put out information. What else? Anything else that we had to go over? No, I don't think so. Shouts out to all the winners. I'm going to probably get to that a little bit later. I'll probably have to go and check on. I have my son for a couple of days throughout this week until, for the summertime, we're changing it up a little bit, keeping him a little longer. So we'll probably go get something done later on. But I do have to get these game night wins out, and I want to get some of the mail going as well. Unfortunately, Ronaldo, I'm still looking for a box that I can fit these damn headphones in. Should have thought of that before I gave them away, but I'll just go to the post office or something. Actually, no, that's not a good place to buy boxes. Do not go to the post office. We need to have a whole live stream on the ins and outs of shipping things, because there's a lot of people like myself who at some point decided, hey, I'm gonna give things away to people, or I have a product and I want to mail it out. What's the best way to do that, right? There is a lot of ins and outs I had to learn with shipping at first, and I talked to people, and people would be very confusing, telling me, "Oh yeah, just do this," and like, it doesn't make sense, And so over time, I figured out more and more. I'm not saying I have the best methods, but we could have a discussion on it. Ooh, that might be a good people in the boxes episode. I don't know. Think about it. Maybe I'll write it down. Shipping and receiving. Shipping and receiving on people in the boxes. Sounds funny, sounds boring, but it's actually pretty in depth. I mean, all of us have had to receive mail or ship mail at some point, right? It's a good idea. I'm going to write it down. Huh. Right? Funny, right? Been trying to figure out shipping. I have quite a few things to ship soon, and lost with it. See, Kayla, exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. Because I did it the hard way until I could figure out better ways to do it. Slowly but surely, it was like I leveled up my game in shipping. Because at first you just go to the post office, they have a box there, okay. You're going to pay $5 more for that, and then you're going to pay more for the shipping itself than you would if you go through the internet and print off your own. So I went through all that. So that would be interesting and informative of a topic. I'm just saying. I like to inform people. And then after that, we're going to teach everyone how to write a check. I'm just kidding. Kidding. All right, make sure I got Leslie. Oh, let me mark him out. Okay, gotcha. Leslie, you have 2 coupons. Congrats, Kayla. You have 17 coupons now. So do with that what you will. I'm not still draining water, am I? Okay, we're good to go. I might have to make a drain in that table before I put any other major products in there, because right now everything that's in there is kind of like voluntary and just kind of doing its thing. I'm not really, it wasn't intentional, except for the onions. The onions are intentional, except for the onions. And the onions are fun because you can throw them in all sorts of stuff, soup and omelet. Throw them on your steak, chop them up, throw them on the steak. Throw them in your salad. Good stuff. Green onions. Shipping was $110 last week. Holy shit, Leslie. Well, you don't need to send donations to help with shipping. You're paying for shipping too, my guy. I'm not complaining about paying for shipping. I'm just complaining about figuring out, when you first start shipping things, figuring out the best ways and the cheapest ways to get things, like how to buy. You want to go to like an office store, or there's places online where you can purchase in bulk things like bubble mailers and stuff like that. So there's a lot of little secrets that people don't want to tell you for some reason. It was very strange when I talked to people. I was like, "Hey, you ship things all the time. Can you tell me how this works?" Oh, I don't know. I do it for $2. I'm like, what? Give me something. Give me something. Trying to ship yourself to me. Oh, snap, Chris. We've got a Chris is propositioning the mail. All right, I think we should get out of here. I got quite a few of you hanging out, but I'm not just going to ramble about anything. I do like to pontificate about the whole journey and where I've gotten, and I do like that I can eat some of the food now that I'm growing. So I can just walk over and eat some of the broccoli. Actually, the broccoli leaves are edible too. I'll chop some of the little ones off, throw them in my salads and my on my sandwich or in my soup, whatever it is. Actually, I might make a stew today. It's probably going to be hot, but I might throw the green peppers in there, the onions, the broccoli, some of the microgreens, and I got some shiitake mushrooms. I got some chicken that I grilled out on the grill. Shouts out to all my griller friends out there. The grill is calling. The grill's calling my name. Although I don't have any more food to grill on it, but it's good. It's good. Hell, I'll grill tacos on the grill. Shoot. 11K last year on shipping. Whoa. I feel like that needs to be. You get a handle on that. You just pay for somebody that sponsors someone that drives around the country. Grilled all day Saturday in the pouring rain. Yeah, we talked about that last night. Yeah, shouts out to the Twisted Canna Bingo. I'm not sure who all won, but last night was a fun little hangout sesh. Thanks for having me up. But yeah, you grilled out. I grilled out. It wasn't pouring, but I have this awning where I have a deck. It's kind of a skinny deck. It's long though. But it's this deck where I could put my grill there. It's right next to the house. So I got to move it away from the house a little bit. You don't want it too hot and all that. Plus to open it up. And then you pull it away from the house, and then it gets real close to the awning and the gutters. And so the rain is like basically hitting the grill, but just barely in the front of it. So it wasn't fun, but it wasn't the end of the world. So. But it's funny. What I was getting at is the deck is a little bit wider than the roof, the awning over it. I'm like, couldn't you make that? Anyway. All right, later, Leslie. Have a good day, man. I'm gonna head over to locals probably in just a minute. Hey, I do feel like we may have some extra people on Rumble today. I do appreciate it. If anyone's coming in on Rumble and you haven't followed the channel, follow my profile on Rumble. Consider following it. I do a lot of different things, but essentially I do 5 different shows a week. They all have some kind of a connection or an arrow pointing back to this show about trying to figure out how to become a little bit more self-sustainable. every person that we know has to eat. So all of us can do just a tiny bit more. If that's just a pinky toe's worth more, going towards that direction of, hey, maybe reusing your compost, reusing some materials, being less wasteful somehow. And no, I'm not trying to get you to hug a tree, but we do have we throw out energy, we throw out waste that we could be using in other ways that we pay for on the back end. So you're really throwing out money by throwing out repurposable materials and throwing out waste, throwing out your compost. You're throwing away money. You're wasting some of your own energy and time and effort. So it's not about necessarily saving the planet, because you know what? The planet's going to be here a lot longer than we are, unless we become a Kardashev 3 civilization, in which we have now broken apart all bodies of land mass and structure in the entire solar system, and rebuilt a shell around the sun in which we absorb every bit of the sun's rays. Anyway, that's a lot. That's way down way down the line. But anyway, we're not going to save the planet. The planet's going to be here. We have to save ourselves. We have to do what we can to be a little more efficiency. I'm not there, but that's what this show is all about. So thanks for coming along with me on the journey. We'll see you guys over on Locals in just a minute. In fact, well, we only got about 20 minutes left of the Locals live stream, so I'm going to shut the whole thing down. I hope to see you over there in a few minutes, guys. We'll hang out for a few minutes, have a little sesh, maybe listen to a comedy punchline or two, and we'll get out of here. So thanks again. Remember, hit Locals, hit that join button down below, and it's $2 a month to become a subscriber and get in on all the fun stuff. Let me see if I can zoom back out real quick. Sprout, do you have any final words? Okay, he's good to go. Remember, everybody's got to eat, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Peace.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm Wailing the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro setup, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle.